All right. Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is pretty bad. So, if you have children and you're listening to this, then you should probably not have them in the room or listening to this video because I'm going to be talking about some pretty serious things in this video. So, we have a new report from the Associated Press. Official. Girl told 911, send the police now, as cops waited. Says students trapped inside a classroom with a gunman repeatedly called 911 during this week's attack on a Texas elementary school, including one who pleaded, please send the police now. As officers waited more than an hour to breach the classroom after following the gunman into the building, authorities said Friday. The commander at the scene in Uvalde, the school district's police chief, believed that 18-year-old gunman Salvador Ramos was barricaded inside adjoining classrooms at Robb Elementary School and that children were no longer at risk. Stephen McCraw, the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety, said at a contentious news conference. It was the wrong decision, he said. Friday's briefing came after authorities spent 3 days providing often conflicting and incomplete information about the more than an hour that elapsed between the time Ramos entered the school and when U.S. Border Patrol agents unlocked the classroom door and killed him. 3 police officers followed Ramos into the building within 2 minutes. In the next half hour, as many as 19 officers piled into the hallway outside, but another 47 minutes passed before the Border Patrol tactical team breached the door, McCraw said. As the gunman fired at students, law enforcement officers from other agencies urged the school police chief to let them move in because children were endangered, the 2 law enforcement officials said. The officials spoke on condition of anonymity because they had not been authorized to speak publicly about the investigation. One of the officials said audio recordings from the scene capture officers from other agencies telling the school police chief that the shooter was still active and that the priority was to stop him. Ramos killed 19 children and 2 teachers inside the room. His motive remained unclear, authorities said. There was a barrage of gunfire shortly after Ramos entered the classroom where officers eventually killed him, but those shots were sporadic. For much of the time, the officers waited in the hallway, McCraw said. He said investigators do not know if children died during that time. Throughout the attack, teachers and children repeatedly called 911 asking for help, including the girl who pleaded for the police, McCraw said. Young survivors of the attack said they pretended to be dead while waiting for help. Oh my God. Mia Cirillo, 11, is an 11-year-old, told CNN that she covered herself with a friend's blood to look dead. Oh my God. Will this ever end? After the shooter moved into an adjacent room, she could hear screams, more gunfire, and music being blared by the gunman. So he's enjoying this. He's enjoying this. Really, really enjoying this. Oh my god, this is sick. This is why I said I don't want any children to be watching my live video. After oh yeah, Samuel Salinas, 10, who also played dead. Wow. Told ABC's Good Morning America that the assailant shot teacher Irma Garcia before firing on the kids. Questions have mounted over the amount of time it took officers to enter the school to confront the gunman. It was 11:28 a.m. Tuesday when Ramos's Ford pickup slammed into a ditch below the low-slung Texas school, and the driver jumped out carrying an AR-15 style rifle. 5 minutes after that, authorities said Ramos entered the school and found his way to the fourth grade classroom where he killed the 21 victims. But it was not until around 12:50 that police killed Ramos, McCraw said, when shots could be heard over a 911 call from a person inside the classroom as officers breached the room. What happened during that time frame in a working-class neighborhood near the edge of Uvalde has fueled mounting public anger and scrutiny over law enforcement's response to Tuesday's rampage. They say they rushed in, said Javier Cazales, whose fourth grade daughter, Jacqueline Cazales, was killed in the attack, and who raced to the school as the massacre unfolded. We didn't see that. According to the new timeline provided by McCraw, after crashing his truck, Ramos fired on two people coming out of a nearby funeral home, officials said. Contrary to earlier statements by officials, a school district police officer was not at the school when Ramos entered. Another lie. At 11:33 a.m., Ramos entered the school through a rear door that had been propped open and fired more than 100 rounds into a pair of classrooms. More than 100 rounds, McGraw said. He did not address why the door was propped open, because he has no answer. Because he knows that he would look stupid if he tried to answer. That's the real reason. 2 minutes later, three local police officers arrived and entered the building through the same door, followed soon by 4 others, McGraw said. Within 15 minutes, officers from different agencies had assembled in the hallway, taking sporadic fire from Ramos, who was holed up in a classroom. Ramos was still inside at 12:10 p.m. when the first U.S. Marshals Service deputies arrived. They had raced to the school from nearly 70 miles away in the border town of Del Rio, the agency said in a tweet Friday. But the commander inside the building, the school district's police chief, Pete Arredondo, decided the group should wait to confront the gunman, on the belief that the scene was no longer an active attack, McCraw said. The crisis came to an end at 12:50 p.m. after officers used keys from a janitor to open the classroom door, enter the room, and fatally shot Ramos, he said. It's like you have no way of breaking down a door. This is so hard to read. Arredondo, and not just because of the names, could not be reached for comment Friday. No one answered the door at his home, and he did not reply to a phone message left at the district's police headquarters. Governor Greg Abbott, also known as Governor Greg Asshole, who at a Wednesday news conference lauded the police response, said Friday that he was misled and he's livid. About what? You don't care. You don't care. In his earlier statements, the governor told reporters he was repeating what he had been told. Just like a good governor, just got to repeat. No, all right. The information that I was given turned out in parts to be inaccurate, he said. Abbott said exactly what happened needs to be thoroughly, exhaustively investigated. Sure. The government previously praised law enforcement for their amazing courage by running towards gunfire and their quick response. On Friday, Asshole had been set to attend the annual convention of the NRA, National Rifle Association, which is being held across the state in Houston. Instead, he addressed the gun rights group's convention by recorded video and went to Uvalde. At the convention, speaker after speaker took the stage to say that changing U.S. gun laws or further restricting access to firearms isn't the answer. Wow, didn't see that one coming. What stops armed bad guys is armed good guys. Oh, God. Senator Ted Cruz told those gathered in Houston. Former President Donald Trump was among Republican leaders speaking at the event, where hundreds of protesters angry about gun violence demonstrated outside, including some who held crosses with photos of the Uvalde victims. The motive for the massacre, the nation's deadliest school shooting since Newtown, Connecticut, almost a decade ago, remained under investigation. Authorities have said Ramos had no known criminal or mental health history. During the siege, frustrated onlookers urged police officers to charge into the school, according to witnesses, and I've seen these videos. Go in there, go in there, women shouted at the officers soon after the attack began, said Juan Carranza, 24, who watched the scene from outside a house across the street. Okay, they totally misspelled this person's name, so I have no idea. I think they meant to say Carranza again. Carranza said that when he arrived, he saw 2 officers outside the school and about 5 others escorting students out of the building. About 15 or 20 minutes passed before the arrival of officers with shields. Oh, they need shields, equipped to confront the gunmen. You know, all that like tactical gear, all the high-powered rifles that we give them, machine guns. You can't take out one 18-year-old guy. It's not like he's the baddest dude ever. He didn't even have armor plating on. It was fake. Fake armor plating that he was wearing. It was fake. As more parents flocked to the school, he and others pressed police to act. Now they're spelling this guy's name impossibly. I'm just going to say what they said. Cazares said he heard about 4 gunshots before he and the others were ordered back to the parking lot. A lot of us were arguing with the police. You all need to go in there. You all need to do your jobs. Their response was, we can't do our jobs because you guys are interfering. So blame the victim. Blame the victim. Classic police tactic. Cazares said. The many chilling details of the attack were enough to leave parents struggling with dread. Visiting a downtown memorial to those killed, Cassandra Johnson of the nearby community of Hondo said that she was so worried the day after the attack that she kept her twin boys home from school. Oh my God. This is, like I said, this is so hard to read. Before she sent the 8-year-olds back, she studied the school building, figuring out which windows she would need to break to reach them. And she drew hearts on their hands with marker. Oh my God. So she could identify them if the worst happened. Wow, Johnson said, as she put flowers near the 21 white crosses honoring the victims. Those kids could be my kids, she said. That report is by the Associated Press, apnews.com, by Jim Vertuno and Elliot Spagat. So, in the few minutes that I have left, I just wanted to say that this is so horrific. This is so beyond the pale that I know that me saying something will change nothing. Me saying anything will change nothing. But I'm still going to say it. I'm still going to make these videos. In the few minutes that I have left before I sign off, I just want to say this is just. I mean, I know I just started this video, but right now I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. It's just so horrific. It's so terrible. It's so bad. And I mean, where do we even start? Where do we even start? So, my opinion is we have to change gun laws. And I'm just repeating all the things that I've heard that are true. That's the difference. Here's the thing. I listen to Kyle Kalinske. I listen to, and he's with Secular Talk, and I listen to that. And I hear him and David Pakman every day, and it's like, hey guys, another school shooting, and it just kills me. And I know that not everyone, including myself, got to see their videos, but the content that they make is so valuable, even though it's just them reading an article, saying what they think about it. I think that that's so important that when I read this article and when I learned that it's the worst school shooting like since Newtown, I have 273 people who are subscribed to me. I hope that just one or two of them will watch this video and learn a thing or two, at least, about our Second Amendment. Here in America, the Second Amendment, it's like the golden rule. It's like the most highest held standard. It's like we got Second Amendment and then there's everything else. I mean, we love our Second Amendment, but we can't keep doing it. We can't keep doing it because we're just. I'm not saying get rid of the Second Amendment. I'm not saying have a gun buyback program even. I'm saying that these people need mental health evaluations before they start, before they get a gun. There has to be a mental health evaluation. And I need people to understand that this is crazy. And nobody gives a damn about it. And even though I only have 273 people who are subscribed to my videos, I wanted to make a video to tell people, look, you need to wake up. This whole country needs to wake up. We cannot keep doing this. We need to vote Greg Abbott out right now. We need to vote people like Beto O'Rourke. If you didn't see the fact that he went to a news conference with Greg Abbott there, and he just went up and talked to him, and that's considered a protest. Well, first of all, I think that that's bullshit to call that a protest. And second of all, that's just how you do it. Like, he let the man say all that he wanted to say, and then he was like, hey, I have something to say now. We the people. That's what he had to say. And so that's why, I mean, I would be voting for Beto O'Rourke, but obviously I don't live in Texas. Thank God for that. But I'm just about out of time, so I wanted to mention a few more things just because we're already here. I'm already making a video. This can't go on. We need a constitutional amendment. We need an amendment for the Second Amendment. Okay? We need, and all the progress that the left has made, like to try to pack the courts, to try to, let's have a Democrat in the White House. Like, where's your progress? What are you doing? So, like, I am saying we need to vote Greg Abbott out, but at the same time, I'm also saying, like, we can't allow these gun nuts to allow mental health to go unchecked when you're buying a gun. Like, that just can't be a thing anymore. Like, no other country does that. No other country has gun violence like us. No one. And it's just not okay. And we need to change it. So, voting Greg Abbott out. And we need a constitutional amendment for all these different topics. Unless you want Uvalde Part 2. That's all I'm saying. Unless you want it Part 2. So, that's what's going to happen. And in the news headlines, they're going to be saying there was another Texas shooting. And it's going to be every week. It's going to come here. That's what's going to happen. But we'll have to see. And I'm going to keep making these videos, because this is so important. This is so important. We cannot allow this to keep happening. We have to vote so that Greg Abbott, Greg Asshole, gets voted out. And another thing, we need to hold the police accountable. We cannot have more of these shootings because the police did not act. Okay? We cannot allow it to happen again. We just can't. You can look forward to my next video when another insane school shooting happens, which won't be long because this is America. The end.